Guys, welcome to Unfold Data Science. This is Aman here and I am a data scientist. In this particular video we will understand two things about the time series data. One is how to decompose the time series data and other is how to do the stationarity check in the time series data, right? So I have discussed about the theoretical part of decomposition. The decomposition is nothing but finding the additive and multiplicative parts of a time series. I'll show you with an example how to do that in Python, and I will also show you how to check this stationarity. Now what is stationarity again? It is nothing but if the mean and variance of your time series is constant over the time. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just importing some of the packages. If you see from stats model.time series analysis, I'm importing seasonal decompose, I'm importing some date parser for doing date parsing, and I'm importing pandas. Now as we talk about the decomposition of the time series, we must understand what is the definition of additive and multiplicative time series, right? So additive time series, as I explained in my theoretical video, additive time series is value is equal to base level plus trend plus seasonality plus error. Definition of multiplicative time series is value is equal to base level into trend into seasonality into error. Okay, so these three components are summed up in value in additive and these three components are multiplied in value in multiplicative. Okay, now let us find out how do we figure out base level, trend and seasonality. Okay, so what we need, first we need a time series data. Now I'm importing this data. This is called Australian drug sales data. Okay, so as you can see, the first 10 records of the data, we will have data value at different times, right? So 1991 17 7th month, 7th date, first month, January 7th, 8th Jan, 9th Jan, 10th Jan, like that we have these values of drug sales, right? Now if we plot this time series, just to have a, first of all I am removing the index for this time series, reason being this column is of use, this column we might not need always. Okay, so this column, second column is our time series column, which we will analyze and see how it is behaving. So the first column, index column, we will not use as of now. So I'm deleting this index column first, and then I'm plotting this time series from matplotlib, right? So matplotlib plot this value, and if you see, this time series looks like this, right? Now what do you observe from this time series, guys? Do you see some seasonality? Do you see some trend? Do you see some cyclic behavior? Trend is obviously there. As you can see, there is an upward trend, right? There is an upward trend. Seasonality, I don't see any kind of seasonality or something, right? Or some bit of seasonality may be here because it is picking up after some time interval. Let us see what is the components of trend and seasonality. So how to decompose? So I am writing here just one liner. Multiplicative decomposition is equal to multiplication result is equal to seasonal decompose, the function which I imported here in the beginning, if you remember, seasonal decompose, right? Seasonal decompose, then I give my time series and I say model is equal to multiplicative period is equal to 1. Period is nothing but the frequency of what you are calling as one period of a time series. And similarly for additive, you can say seasonal decompose, model is equal to additive, and you can give your period, right? I am running these two lines and then I am plotting the multiplicative time series. Okay, so if you can see here the multiplicative time series, guys, this is the first chart is your actual time series, the second chart is your trend component of your time series, seasonality component is third, and fourth is residual component. Okay, so as you can see, the time series looks more or less similar to the trend component, which means that in this time series trend component is more prominent if we decompose it multiplicatively. Okay, and the seasonal component, if you see, is at 1, which means there is not much of seasonality in the data, and residual is also 1. That is what the different parts of the time series when we decompose using seasonal decompose. Now let us see what happens for the additive time series, right? So if it's an additive time series, we will have similarly we will have the main time series, then we have the trend component which is very much similar to the actual time series, and we have this seasonal component which is 0. Why it is 0 I will tell you, and then the residual component which is also 0. Now looking at that chart, what we can analyze is there is a definitely trend component in the time series, but seasonality component seem to be less prominent. Okay, We would also want to see the values of what is actually the trend component and what is actually the seasonal component in a data frame kind of thing, right? That is what I am going to do next, right? So if you see here, I am saying pd.concat add result, which is nothing but the result of my time series additive time series, right? Add result will have all the components, right? Seasonality, trend, all these components. So I am saying take the seasonal component, take the trend component, take the residuals and take the observed, just assigning the column names and plotting that data frame, I mean printing that data frame. So as you can see in the definition of additive time series is your actual values will be sum of these three values. So that is the reason these two values are 0. Trend value is exactly similar to the actual values, right? And same thing if I do in the multiplicative time series, what you will see is trend value is very much similar to the actual value, however the residuals and seasonality is 1. The reason is, by definition multiplicative time series is a multiplication of your seasonal component, trend component, and that is the reason if it is 0 then it will be, whole thing will be 0, right? That is why it is 1. So if you multiply seasonality into trend, then you get the actual time series, right, into residuals. And here if you sum up, then you get, first one is the additive, second one is the multiplicative, right? Now comes the check of stationarity. So what is stationarity, guys? Stationarity is very simple to understand. If a time series has constant mean and variance over a period of time, we call that an stationary time series. I explained that in one of my theoretical video, right? And I told you about a test called AD Fuller test, which is a very simple test which will tell you if your time series is stationary. This is kind of hypothesis test, okay? What is the null hypothesis here? Null hypothesis is your time series is non-stationary. If your p-value is less than 5%, then reject the null hypothesis, otherwise accept the null hypothesis, right? So how to run this? I'm just saying AD Fuller test is equal to AD Fuller, give my data time series column is values column, and then auto lag is AIC. So here if I am running this, you will see that my p-value is 1. Is it less than 5%? No. 5% will be 0.05, right? It is more than 5%. Hence we cannot reject the null hypothesis, right? What is my null hypothesis? Time series is non-stationary. So we cannot reject this null hypothesis. This is very intuitive as well. If you see this time series, right, this time series is obviously not stationary. At this point mean and variance will be different than mean and variance at this point, right? That is why this time series is not stationary. And same thing our AD Fuller test is also giving us output, right? So if you run an AD Fuller, you will get a p-value. Look at that p-value and you can very simply accept or reject the null hypothesis. Now comes the next question. We know that this time series is non-stationary. As I told you, you cannot build or train a machine learning model on a non-stationary time series. So what to do next? We will have to make this time series stationary. So the next question comes, how to make a time series stationary, right? If it is a non-stationary, how to make a time series stationary if it is a non-stationary time series, right? And this is exactly what I am going to cover in my next video. I am going to give you examples of what are the different techniques through which you can make a time series stationary, okay? And all these things I have still not gone into model building, model training in time series. I have covered 4 or 5 videos. The reason for that is there are many basic concepts, guys, that you will need before actually going into the model building, model training, right? And these are really important concepts. So I want you to be really good at these concepts, and then we can of course go to the model training, different kind of time series analysis model, how we can train them, right? So I hope you understood this concept of stationarity check through AD Fuller and decomposing a time series into seasonality, trend, residual, and seasonality, trend, and residual component, right? So if you have any doubts, write me in comment. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, all of you stay safe and take care.